Range fans and Reloaders Network, also this time the 10mm Firearm Forum, we're back in the reloading layer with some Buffalo Boar 10mm. These are 180 grain pills and said to be cruising along at a velocity of 1,350 feet per second. What we're going to do is go through some in-depth analysis on the Buffalo Boar pill. Welcome, range fans. Mr. Revolver Guy here with dayattherange.com. The reason we're doing this in-depth analysis is, man, I really must have hurt some feelings in my chamber support videos. I've posted 2 of those videos now talking about chamber support in the 10mm and really trying to answer the question, is it really as big of a deal as most marketing would have you believe? Well, I'm leaving that to your conclusion and only providing the data. Today, we're going to give you some technical details on this Buffalo Boar ammunition. For the 10mm Firearm Forum, I've taken one of these pills apart to examine the powder to see what kind of load is underneath this 180 grain pill. It is ignited by a silver-based primer, but I'm not going to bore you with some of those technical details of showing you on camera exactly what I've done, but I'll go through a quick explanation to get out to the range, because even though we're only going to fire 1 round, I went back to all of my friends out there and asked if I could borrow their 10mm firearms once again, and they even went, oh no, not another 10mm chamber support video. Well, kind of, sort of it is. What we're going to do, through one of the range fans' recommendations, we're going to fire 1 Buffalo Boar, semi-spec but yet hot, through each pistol, and we're going to take measurements of the case after being fired. Now, before firing, overall length with a caliber is 1.251. Then I measured at the case mouth where the crimp is. That is 0.421. And for some odd reason, when you measure in the center of the 10mm case, it comes out at 0.419. And then you get down to the base or the web of the 10mm case, and that comes out at 0.421. So again, we're going to take every single one of those pistols from before, and man, gosh, I tell you, some of the hate mail I've received from folks out there about being an idiot and this makes no sense. And again, I'm leaving it to you on how important chamber support is in 10mm based on the firearm that you use. Remember, off the first video, just in case you didn't see it, from least to most chamber support was the Colt Delta Elite least chamber support, the Ruger SR 1911, then the STI Piro, and then tied for 4th place was the Para Elite Hunter, the Springfield XDM, and the SIG P220 Elite. And in both videos, the Kimber Camp Guard 10 came in with the tightest chamber support by my measurements. Again, not scientific, but examined under a microscope and also examined under a magnifying glass to try to really determine who had the best chamber support in 10mm. Now, yep, it's a third one. We're going to fire 1 round through each pistol and see what the measurements come out like with the Buffalo Boar 180 grain pill. Let's head out to the range. The things I'll go through for the range fans. So I got a nice bunch of 10mm out here today, and we're going to start with the Colt Delta Elite there on the end. We're going to move to the Ruger SR 1911, and then you have the beautiful STI Piro, and again, it is with the Buffalo Boar 180 grain pill. Then we're going to move to the 6-inch Para Elite Hunter. Love those grips, by the way. Then the only polymer on the table is the XDM 4.5 10mm, moving on to the Sig Sauer P220 Elite, and then the Kimber Camp Guard 10 there at the end of the table.
Boy, talk about feeling like an idiot. One round through each of those pistols that you saw of the Buffalo Boar 180 grain. I've got a backstop over here to stop any casing that might fly too far to ensure that it is my casing, but I'm pretty sure there's not too many 10mm fans here at this particular range, and I happen to be the only one on the range today. So we're going to go ahead and fire one round through each. Wow, feels useless, but I hope you range fans enjoy. Time to go chase the brass. It did hit my backstop. Be right back. I'm going to spare you all the boring footage of me chasing down the brass. This is just really for documentation to say that I did get out here and fire each piece of brass. Ruger SR 1911. By the way, out of the Colt Delta Elite, I did shoot 5 rounds across the chronograph today, and they did average 1,324 feet per second. But moving on to the Ruger SR 1911 with one in the pipe, let's see what the brass comes out like. Hit my backstop. STI Pyro. Woo! Threw that into the next county. Did not hit the backstop. Be right back. Para Elite Hunter, or better known in the modern day after Remington has purchased Para, the Remington R1 Hunter. Exact same pistol, folks. All right, got to chase another piece of brass. Be right back. 15 round XDM 4.5, only loaded with 1 round. Chasing another piece of brass. Wow, took me a little while to find that XDM brass, but I found it. Nevertheless, and we're moving on to the SIG P220 Elite. Woo! Up on the berm, the side berm. Might take me a while, folks. Be right back. Didn't take me long to find that SIG P220 brass up on the berm where it's not supposed to be. Stuck out like a sore thumb. Kimber, Camp Guard 10. I see it. Be right back.
Okay, range fans and Reloaders Network, and also the 10mm Firearm Forum. I'm back from that crazy range trip of shooting 1 round through each pistol. And you can see there I'm on the bench with Buffalo Boar. That pill is 180.3 grains. It's heavy 10mm. There's the item number if any of you out there are interested. 1,350 feet per second is what's advertised. That's 726 foot-pounds of energy. You can see it is a Starline case with chrome or silver primer to ignite everything. Now, let's get back to the testing. So I tested the Colt Delta Elite with 5 rounds across the chronograph. 5 rounds across the chronograph measured at 1,324 feet per second for me. Plus, overall length was 1.251. Now, I don't know, guys and gals, if this is going to answer more questions or just cause more confusion. You can see there, I took an unfired case, and those were the measurements. I took it at the crimp, the middle of the case, and also the web or base of the case. And that's what the unfired case looks like. So, we're going to start out going from least to tightest chamber support. And yes, folks, it has changed a bit. So, if you take the overall case expansion or total case expansion on this column, you can see there are a number of ties, but clearly a standout winner. So going from least to tightest, the least chamber support was the Ruger, folks. It actually was not the Colt Delta Elite as I had projected in the previous videos. The one thing I do notice about the Ruger as well is that it's got a serious primer drag mark. I don't know if you guys can see that. Not primer drag mark, but flow that actually has me examining the breech face of the 1911. I mean, that pit mark there will actually scratch your finger when you rub across it. So the Ruger had the least. Then we move on to the tie or second place for the least chamber support. You have the Colt Delta Elite, the STI Apiro, and the XDM 4.5. What I find interesting about all of this is, let's see if I can make this happen here. So if I roll this case out, the STI Apiro, folks, let's see if I can make this happen. The STI Apiro, you see those vertical lines? It actually has indentions all the way around the case of those vertical lines, which is going to make me take a Boar light and go back and examine the chamber of the STI Apiro. I will say the XDM case came out the cleanest and least damage. So this group here, guys, the second group, total expansion is 0.014. That's total overall expansion. The Ruger was 0.015. Then we move on to the Para Elite Hunter, getting to tighter chamber support. And the Para Elite Hunter, to my surprise, was 0.011. Nothing to report on that case at all, quite frankly. And then the SIG, wow, I was pretty impressed by the SIG. The SIG 220 Emperor had total expansion of 0.012. And then for sure, the tightest chamber support was the Kimber. And the Kimber, there's really nothing to report on that case either. It came out as I was expected, totally round, but man, what a difference compared to the others. The Kimber chamber support, total expansion across the crimp, the middle of the case, the web of the case came out to 0.006. That is a big difference compared to all of them. So one last time, the Ruger with the least chamber support, Ruger SR 1911. Then it moved over to the Colt Delta Elite, tied with the STI Apiro and the XDM 4.5. Then the Para Elite Hunter stands alone there, getting tighter chamber support as we move to the right. Then you have the SIG, and there's not really much difference between the SIG and the Para, but when you move to the Kimber, there is a huge difference amongst chamber support. So there you have it. And like I said before, this is not meant to be scientific, but providing you with the data on if case chamber support means a lot to you across manufacturers. Here's quite a few manufacturers that have been represented. Please see the other two videos at dayattherange.com. All right. You guys have called me an idiot and everything else in email. Not even sure how my email got out there. I guess it's probably easy to guess. But there you have it. There will be no more. No, I guess you should never say never. But I have no more plans at all in making 10mm chamber support data or any more videos around the 10mm chamber support. Hope you enjoyed and hope this data means something to someone. Mr. Revolver Guy, dayattherange.com.